So you have another UAE-based news, courtesy Khaleej Times, and the reporter, the one and only Mr. Mazhar Farooqui. Okay, so I have read the article. I took down the key 8 points. I'll share them with you, and I'll give my opinions in between. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. Now, the title says how a UAE-based firm stole hundreds of flight tickets and fuel worth 1 million in an audacious scam. So, what is the summary? The summary is as follows. This company, Prime Experts Construction LLC, that posed as a legitimate Dubai-based construction firm, orchestrated a scam involving fraudulent purchase of flights, hotels, and fuel using post-dated checks that were supposed to bounce, and the company resold these services for cash and disappeared. This is one of the biggest curses of doing business in UAE. That is a post-dated check. When you give a PDC or a post-dated check, I'll just give you a dummy's way of how it works. I buy a product from you. Instead of giving you cash, I give you a check and I tell you after 15 days, you can encash it. Now you will be like, who the hell does this? Why the hell would someone want to do it? It's very simple. In a competitive marketplace, you constantly are seeking new businesses. You're constantly seeking new relationships. So let's say, for example, me, I am dealing with Mr. A. Mr. B comes to me and says, hey, listen, you've been giving business to A. How about giving me some business? So, being a businessman, you generally say, fine, what can you offer me? Can you give me a better deal? Discount? You'll say yes. Then, can you give me terms of conditions? I don't want to lock all my cash. I'll pay you a little bit later. Post-dated check, you'll say yes. Then I'll ask you, okay, if I buy in bulk 10 units, can you give me the 11th unit for 50% off or something? So, me as a businessman, I'll try to keep squeezing you so that I get some benefit. And you, because you want my business, because you're new in the market, you'll be like, okay, sir, fine, sir, whatever. Okay, I'll agree to A, B, C, D, but not these other points. Fine. So now this company, Prime Expert Constructions, it seems that they were registered 10 years ago. Okay. That was when the company got registered. The loophole which they didn't know is they had sold its company's rights to some new owners. And this is how fraudsters and scammers operate. What they do is they're constantly searching for trade licenses and business visas that have, 5, 10, 15, 20 years old. They'll give you a good sum of money and say that transfer this to my name, you can leave. So now that old company that has been there for 10, 20 years has a brand name in the market or has reputation that this company is not a company that was just started 2-3 months ago. It is a company that has, been there for the past 20 years. So people think they're not going to close down their shop and run away. They are established. So that brings about a certain degree of credibility. So what happened is this Prime Expert Construction LLC, maybe I'm assuming, was approached by these fraudster scammers who purchased this trade license and they must have paid a good sum of money to the old owners. Old owners said, fine, sign the documents stating that we are not responsible for anything after this particular date. The new owners, who are the scammers, fine, no problem, whatever. But we keep it hush-hush. We keep it confidential. Fine, shake hands, bye-bye, go. So now they have inherited a trade license. Maybe they'll use the same warehouse. Maybe they'll use the same office. Maybe they'll even have the same employees. Okay? Or what they'll do is, old employees, they'll say, go, bring new employees. This is another part of the scam. When they employ people from India. They always get people who have this eagerness to come to Dubai. "Oh, I want to make big money in Dubai. I want to start my life in Dubai." So these guys, these scammers, fraudsters, they approach recruitment agencies, or they go to, you know, they go to places where they can advertise, and a lot of people come and apply. Now these guys, they apply. They think this is an established company, and they say, "Sir, I'll work very hard. I'll do whatever you say. Just give me a chance, give me an opportunity." And the owner says, the fraudulent scammers, they say, "Fine, you come over there, you follow our instructions." So they bring in maybe 10, 20, 50 people, whatever. And they appoint one guy receptionist, one guy sales, one guy, manager, one guy accounts. They give them the basic training. They say, "You just say this, you follow instructions." And these guys are like, "Oh, okay. You're giving me my salary. You are providing me with accommodation. You're providing me with so-called training. And you're making me start a new life. I mean, what is there to doubt?" Okay. So now what they do is they send their representatives or the new salespeople who think this is a legitimate company, and the owner employs someone who he trusts, and tell them, "Send these guys to ABCD company and say that we want to give them business." So, if you are established in the market for many years and you're seeking to give someone new business, they wouldn't mind it. But obviously, they'll be slightly cautious. What they'll say is, "Since we are dealing with you the first time, we would prefer cash. Okay, we will give you a better discount, but give us cash." So how the scammers operate here is, fine, here's the cash, give us the goods. First, they'll take 10 units. They'll pay cash, take. Then they will purchase 20 units. They'll pay cash, take. Then 30 units, pay cash, take it. So as they keep buying more and more and they keep paying you cash, your trust towards these people grows. And very soon, the accounts department, the sales department, the marketing, the owners, "Oh, what a new customer, what a new company. They are buying and they're giving us cash." Until maybe one day, I'm just giving a hypothetical situation, they have a meeting with the manager and say, "We are getting this very big project from Emaar, Nakil, Emirates Airlines, or some big name they will take, or Dubai government. And we have constantly given you business. We are paid on time. But this project, our cash is being locked. We would like 1,000 units." So they took 10, they paid 20, paid 30, paid 40, paid. But this time, 1,000 units. But 1,000 units, please. We will not be able to pay you immediately. We will pay you, let's say, after 3 months or 6 months. And then they'll say, "No, I really have to ask my owner." So what does the fraudster, the company says? "Listen, charge us a little bit more. Okay, don't give us a discount. Charge us a little bit more so that you're happy, we are happy. And we will give you maybe a small token amount as advance notice." So eventually, they try to get you to say yes. And if you still say no, they will try to figure out somebody else. They'll go to your competitor and they will say, "See, listen, I gave them so much of business. Here are the invoices. Here is the evidence for it. But now we want to give them a very big business." They're not saying, "Yes, would you like to participate and become our new partner, supplier?" So remember, there is always, like this, there's always somebody who will take the bait. You throw the bait in the water. Maybe one smart fish will not take bait. Second, third, fourth. One hungry fish will be there and say, "Hell with it. Let me just take a risk." So these guys, Prime Experts Construction LLC, they kept maybe hunting for a company. When they got the company, they purchased in large quantities. They gave them good PDCs. So what they did is they went to travel agencies like Flyvour, Cozmo Travel, DoJoin. Now these names itself you can make out. They're not established brands in Dubai. They look like new companies, or they look like companies which are dying for business. And they purchased tickets which they would pay them later. Flyvour booked 201 international tickets, suffering a loss of 194,000 and change. Cozmo and DoJoin reported a loss of 98,000 and 200,000. Oh, very good. Okay. So these guys who provided the tickets, they gave them on a PDC. They gave them the tickets. These guys must have resold it, which I'm sure that somewhere it must be written. So it seems they didn't stop at these guys. They went to desert safaris, Dubai attraction, purchased fuel, okay? Suppliers like Alpha Petroleum, Eti Madi Fuel, they lost 1 million. 3-star Fuel, 52,000 gallons worth 500,000. Eti Madi, 13,000 worth 419,000. Okay. So they managed to search in the market who would be giving them the requirements. They give them the PDCs. So finally, on the day of encashment, these guys came to the warehouse. Hey, our payment is due. Or, sorry, I forgot to tell you. They must have presented the checks to the bank, or they must have tried to call them, the accounts. Hey, hi, we want to present the checks so that we can get our money. Maybe nobody picked up in the accounts. They tried calling. Nobody picked up. So finally, the manager got pissed off and said, how are they ignoring our calls? Go to their office and speak to the accounts manager. So when they went there, they found the warehouse empty. It seems totally empty. Nobody is there. And in a panic, obviously, they reported to their boss. Boss immediately knew that we have got jacked. We better run to the bank and present the checks, which they did. And as usual, it, like a basketball, bounce, all bounced. The company, then when you do a background check, you check, oh, they have been in the market for 10 years or 15 years, whatever. They were a trusted brand. But then they find out, sheesh, we forgot to see this line that it was sold to new owners. And then they find out that Prime Experts forged certificates, audit reports to gain credibility. Remember, I told you they employed new people from India. So they were bought there. They gave them the training. And then because they gave them a house, they gave them a visa, they gave them salary, and they must have promised them, we'll do this for your wife, your children, your family. But follow instructions. Just do this the way we are telling you. And by the way, I know some of my clients who are based in Dubai, or UAE, where the company asked them to, for lack of a better word, I wouldn't say loopholes, but to play illegal, to kind of practice illegal stuff, where they manipulated the numbers to get some benefits. So, legal action is being taken against an audit firm. But then again, you're catching the smaller fish. The big fish has run away. Legal hurdles for the victims seeking justice will have to pay high court fees, lengthy proceedings. And even though it says here limited assurance of the recovering the money, I will tell you there's no assurance. It's bullshit. You're not going to get anything. You'll pay the lawyers. They'll be paid money. You'll be paying for the documentation, for the certification, for the, paperwork, for the operations, for the court. You'll pay the judge's fees. You'll pay the court fees. In the end, after dragging it for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, you get zero back. Even if they say you are not guilty, he is guilty, you have won the case. But then where are you going to find this guy? From where? So it seems that the victims believe the scam may be much more larger, as business owners have reported unpaid suppliers of more items like electronic goods and food items. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is very simple. It's a very simple thing. do business in the UAE, but don't do PDC, post-dated checks. It's better to have less customers, less profit margin, rather than having customers who ask you with PDCs, because let's assume it's a very powerful brand. Even if it's the Dubai government and they give you a PDC, remember, when it comes time to honor the payment, they can play around. And here's the question which I've made in many other videos. Let's say Dubai government issues you a PDC, and on the due date, they tell you, no, sorry, we don't have the money. Can you take them to court? Can you take the ruler of the country who owns these businesses? Can you take the owner of the country to court in the courts that he has created with the people that he has given jobs to? It's like saying, I'll sue the king in his own country, you being an outsider. So best, don't do business with PDC, do business with only cash. And like I always say, when something is too good to be true, it's generally the case. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. You guys take care.